X-Drive, All Grip, 4MOTIC and 4MOTION. When it comes to all-wheel drive, just about every manufacturer has their own name for this important technology. But what is Volkswagen's 4MOTION and how does it differ to the rest? To find out, we've come to sunny Queenstown here in New Zealand to the snow farm to put 4MOTION to the test on the slippery stuff. 4MOTION is Volkswagen's term for all-wheel drive, and unlike other on-demand systems, 4MOTION actually refers to 3 different systems offered in different models across the range. Depending on the vehicle, these can be permanent or part-time arrangements. Each extends the amount of traction available to drive the car, which Volkswagen tells us can improve the vehicle's ability to accelerate, steer, tow, or head off-road. Of course, demonstrating all of these scenarios in a condensed manner can be pretty difficult. So to exaggerate the benefits 4MOTION can provide, we put a range of cars through a handful of exercises on the ice and snow. Well, Lukey, thanks for taking us for a spin in the cars with 4MOTION, and obviously this is the most extreme place to try and put this kind of technology to the test. Can you tell us what it is that gives 4MOTION such an advantage in conditions like this?
Well, when it's so slippery, it gets obviously some big angle like we're doing now. And if this was a conventional 2-wheel drive car, I'd probably be looping it. So what this does is it applies drive to the front of the axle and pulls me basically out of the slide. So I can enter corners huge amount more speed, and it stays a bit more balanced for me.
So when we were running through the exercises before, we were sort of getting a little bit loose and finding that it's a very different application to driving, say, a rear-wheel drive or a front-wheel drive. It's almost counterintuitive in a way. Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, it is, because conventionally you want to get on the gas to provoke a bit of oversteer. In a 4-wheel drive car, it actually straightens the car up. So you're essentially using the weight transfer of the car to actually help it point. So you've got to get a bit of a pendulum effect. We call it the Scandinavian flick, where you apply weight to the front, get the car moving left to right, get it dancing before the corner, and that'll flick the car into a bit of an oversteer attitude.
Of course, trying the extreme manoeuvres attempted here in controlled conditions is a vastly different proposition to what 4MOTION drivers might expect on the road. Not everyone has the skills or the venue to test 4MOTION at its limit, but that's not to say it isn't of benefit in everyday driving. Now Luke, obviously look, this is a bit of fun and we've got a great big open park to do this in, but what's the advantage for the average mum and dad driver driving 4MOTION every day?
Well, if you've got twice as much traction almost. You don't have twice as much grip, but again, you've got a lot more traction, so you're very unlikely to get into an oversteer slide, which is obviously the dangerous slide. Yeah.
So it's really helpful in wet weather, snowy conditions, might help you if you get into an aquaplaning situation?
Absolutely. So you've got all those 4 wheels just clawing at the road, trying to pull you straight. So wherever you got that wheel facing, exactly where the car ends up.
Obviously, if 4MOTION works in extreme conditions like these, then it's going to be of a real benefit on wet or unsealed roads, or if you need to make a sudden evasive manoeuvre. It's the kind of peace of mind that Australian buyers are purchasing more and more often, and at Volkswagen at least, is offered across a wide range of models that suit differing budgets and lifestyles. No, we didn't get to trial the 4MOTION system against its nearest rivals, but we can say that the system works as advertised. And for family buyers interested in an all-wheel drive car, that's something well worth keeping in mind when you head out for a test drive.